Hey guys, Westy on the mic here.
All right, thanks for watching again, you guys. This is week 8 of Global League. Another pretty solid one for me. Made a few mistakes, but feel pretty proud of my rounds overall. Once again, if you like this content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It lets me know that you like what I'm putting out there. So, all right, Highlanders Ridge 7. This one is always a little bit scary. If I can't get it in putting range, I'm shaking a little bit on that throw in. Fortunately, that one got up there nice and close with the PD, and I didn't have to worry about it. Here's Lakeside 8. My birdie play is very similar to my ace run. It's the same thing, and the only thing you can really do wrong is to hit the rim and bounce off and go in the water. That is a big bummer, but I kind of just take my chances, and I think I make ace more than I go in the water. So gave that one a run, and we ended up with birdie there. So 232. This is my pretty standard play on Enzo hole 5. This wind kind of makes it a little bit easier for me, and the throw in is only 77 as opposed to the 90 to 120 feet I expect. Because of this wind and because it's shorter than normal, I left it a little high here, but check out that luck. That never happens in Global League, but wow. Just had me smiling there. I could not believe my luck. I was mad at myself, and then all of a sudden, just, smiling. So it was fun. So this hole changed. They added some collision to the trees on the right. It made my backhand line a little bit scarier. So I'm trying out some different forehand lines. And when I practiced this one throughout the week, it had gone a little bit better. I ended up a little bit further to the left more often. But regardless, I should be able to get something up to the basket. I just got to be careful with it. I don't think the roll musket gives me quite the flight I want. But I know that the PD on full strength, I could possibly go deep through the fence, something like that. So put a little touch on it. Oof, man, another throw in. I almost left both of my first two real throw ins high, and that would have been unfortunate to miss either one. So thank goodness I get to start with both of those makes. I had a brief second here where I couldn't remember my aim point with the Explorer, but got it done. And we are in for another birdie. We'll see how long we can stay clean here. 6 under through 5. All right. Now I had a little mistake. I'm not positive I would have gone with it, but been working on an accurate water skip sapphire line. Zin the Zinni was the first that I know of who found this line. Anyway, because the wind was so favorable, I was high enough where I didn't even hit that tree. Usually if I go into that tree, I'll nick it, and I wouldn't even have a shot at this. I either would have gone on a bounce, or I would have been too far out probably to go for it. But as has been the trend so far, this is my third straight throw-in attempt that I have left high, and this one finally I do not make it. All right, watching the scoreboards coming through, this is a hole that was kind of haunting people. Saw a lot of high scores, some colorful marks on the scorecard with this one. Decided not to go to the left island, as you know I normally do here now, but decided to try here and then use a water skip disc in. I'm a little bit worried, but try not to think about it too much. And I get the perfect skip, and luckily for me, I don't have to sweat this one. I did practice this hole with kind of all the wins I could think of that were scary after seeing the scoreboard, and was lucky to sneak in with my eagle there. All right, I've been doing this play. This is my second Global League round where I've done this play, kind of a full send with the turn glide rive. As long as there's a one wind, I feel pretty good about my chances of making it to the bridge. I chickened out a little bit. I didn't want to go to OB, and I put more hyzer on it than I normally do, which took away the chance at eagle. And if I hadn't hit that tree, it's very possible I would have hit the ground very aggressively and still made it into the water somehow. So as you can see, I'm trying to find the safest possible route. I think Warship is the right distance for this with how downhill it is. And fortunately for me, I picked the right one. Easy birdie for me on Northern Lights hole 3, something I don't get to say all the time, and I'm always happy when I can. So look at that, 10 under through 8. 11 under for the round was my goal, so this is a hole I can be a little bit conservative on if I want. I did put a little anhyzer on. My throw-ins have been a little high, and I was just a little bit nervous, so I took the risk on the drive as opposed to the throw-in. And as long as I make this, I'm in at 12 under. All right, finally kept my throw in at the right height. That's a short one, but hey, I'll take the wins when I get them. So now we finished the first round at 12 under. That's above the goal. This one I'm hoping for 10 under. That's what I kept telling myself. With this wind, I decided to not go full power on the drive. It takes away my chance at eights pretty much, but that's not the goal on this hole. I was just trying to get a birdie. For a second, I was worried the slide on the ice could be scary, but it curled around and just have a little putt for my birdie. So now, clean start. Let's see what kind of wind hole 5 or hole 2 gives us. Gives us a 1 wind. This is pretty much perfect. There are a lot of scary winds here. This isn't one of them. I'm feeling pretty good about this. With the Sapphire, usually this is a pretty safe spot with that kind of speed. Got a bit of a bummer. Bounce off the land, and I slid into the ice. The one good part is because I hit the land, I get to throw from here. I don't have to go all the way back. I should be able to save my par. But with my goal of 10 under on the round, I know this means I'll have to pick it up on the par 4s, which is doable, but none of them are a piece of cake. So we'll see what happens. Kind of an awkward distance. Not trying to throw this in, just trying to get it on the green so I can do a putt instead of a throw in. And shouldn't have an issue there. Kind of a weird little approach, but effective enough. And we are in for our par. So missed my first birdie or better of the event, but one stroke swing is okay with me. All right, my classic play for this hole, turn glide drive, put a little bit of hyzer on it. I kind of have this destructive habit of when I get a little bit of bad break in and around that I'll be a little bit more aggressive on the next hole. So with going OB on the last hole, I was kind of feeling the aggression a little bit, and luckily I was able to drain it. So my throw-ins have been a little bit suspicious of late, but so far haven't had to pay really yet. And we'll see here. This one is kind of chancy no matter where I go. I didn't like the idea of playing safe. I kind of decided for the round that I was going for this. I thought I had it, but just kind of got stuck on the ground. Really thought I was going to get up there in the perfect position. I thought I just nailed that line. But there's really nothing I care to chance here. No chance of really getting it in around the cliff. So I put it around, and I'm in for my birdie. And I feel pretty good about that. I was going to try the Aaron Christensen wide line with the roll rive in certain winds, but with that one, I felt that my musket could get up there okay, and it did. All right, hole 5. This one is just, a very small margin for error as far as hitting the perfect gap. And it's very easy to either overturn it or end up in the group of trees over on the left, and both just kind of leave you throwing up for your birdie, which is what I'm doing this time. So I kind of took the path of least resistance, avoided the branches, and I am in for my birdie. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but if you have a putt and you're not worried about the distance, always aim down a click. If you aim down a click, I don't think you'll ever get a spit out. So just a little piece of advice. Almost left this one a little bit left. I think I still had a little bit of room for error there, but probably chanced it more than I needed to. Regardless, we're in for another birdie, and we are 6 under through 6. All right, hole 7. This is one I get every once in a while. It would be fun to get it in a global round. Right there, I could see I didn't put. I want to probably a touch of hyzer, a straight pullback, but if anything, a touch of hyzer. And that time, I let it turn a little bit with the angle, and probably the wobble with the disc turned it a little bit too, but didn't get too close to the ace. Again, very, very fine with that birdie. All right, this is a pretty safe wind for this hole. My default line and my straight pullback there. Sorry, not default line that I put it on, but that's the default one I use. And I'm in for another birdie. And 8 under through 8. My goal was 10 under, but I'm just telling myself, on this drive, it is what it is. This is I aim for that dot on the rock with my bottom chevron. I usually, if I want to get a little more aggressive, I'll aim a little bit to the right like I did, and then I'll put more hyzer on it. And oh my word, I snuck around that pole. And oof, great bounce there. The roll is great. I was hoping I could get under the fence, but at least I wasn't right up next to it. It gives me a chance to throw over it. And I used to aim at the top of the basket exclusively with my backhands. Now I kind of do the default aim point. but the muscle memory for this throw-in power, oof, barely snuck it in there. And that is one of my favorite things that I liked about aiming high like that, and I still do that with my forehand throw-ins, is when you have it up like that, you seem to get a little bit more benefit of the doubt. When you hit right at the top of the rim, more of those kind of seem to climb in the basket. So that is one advantage there if you're wondering. And so round 3, we don't know what holes these are coming in. I had a pretty good feeling that the first 3, this first course in round 3 was Sunshine Glade. So 3 ace runs here, because I was looking at the scoreboard and they were kind of like, 8 to 10 plus aces in the top 100 for all 3 holes. I'm like, what other course could that be? And sure enough, it is Sunshine Glade. So these ones, have the lines dialed for all of them. And it just, you kind of need the luck to swing your way to get them in. Everyone's got their lines figured out. Sometimes I'll hit them, but sometimes I'll just be close like I have on these 2. And we have hole 1 for the third one in this round. And this is my normal aim point, forehand with the Claymore, straight pullback. It looked perfect, you guys. I swear I do that line all the time. Same aim points, same pullback. And I've never hit short rim like that. So just kind of weird. Classic thing that happens in Global. And no ace for me there. And all right, I was not planning to be able to go for this throw-in. But from under 200, I know I have the chance. It's always scary because if you miss left and fade into the woods on the left, you can have a brutal time throwing out of there. And right away, I was like, wow, what a terrible throw-in. So it's all right. I didn't get punished with that miss. And I'm in for another birdie. So birdies are good here. After those aces, the rest of these holes were kind of looking like birdie was as good as you could do. A couple eagles on a few of them, but mostly all birdies and then a couple worse. So I told myself just don't make mistakes. And this one I always throw the turn glide drive up there. I usually don't have it turn this much. I must have put more hyzer on it than I normally do. The wind contributed some, but definitely scared myself with how close I got to that out of bounds line. And since I was safe, just a routine throw into the green, and we're putting for another birdie. So sorry, a little bit of a boring round in round 3, but I really shouldn't apologize for that because that was the goal here. All right, here's the Anthony Barella hole. Let's hope I don't do a repeat effort of that. And this wind does make it a little challenging. I didn't want to be too far off, but I also didn't want the wind to push me out of bounds on my drive. So 303 feet, I normally would go my PD on this, but the wind I figured could help me out there. It did, but oof, a little too close for comfort. I thought I might be, having to make a sweaty second shot there. Regardless, another birdie. All right, you've seen some fun throws from me here recently on this hole. This time I'm trying to play it as drama-free as possible. I'm not going for the eagle. I'm trying to be in good position here, which I am. Now, last week I ended up back behind in the water, and they didn't call me OB, but it was a weird spot. I ended up salvaging par. This time I went too far the wrong way. I let the wind push it. I thought this was a very lucky bounce. Keeps me safe, gives me an easy putt. That could have gone wrong, and I was very thankful it did not. Now for, this one. This is a very tricky hole for me. In this wind, anything could happen. I took a minute to contemplate and decided, all right, I'm just going to push it further left than normal, and hopefully I don't end up in that little gulch. Gave it the perfect amount of movement to the left where it could just slide up there, and boy was I relieved to just be able to putt this in, because that is a tricky throw-in for me a lot. So, yep, very excited about that. And hole 9, at this point, if I can just get into the clubhouse with all my birdies, I'm going to be very happy. Would have loved the aces, would have loved some kind of bonus stroke, but this isn't the hole where I'm planning to make it up. Of course, it's always possible, but landing here, I just said, all right, hit the green. And a lot of people will lay up short on this and then do the little throw-in for their birdie, but I like to go for the green if possible. It doesn't bite me very often, and I almost left it short that time, but I'm on the green, and it's another birdie. So at this point, I am 31 under through 3. From what I was seeing at the time I did my round, at 12 under on this last round would have tied me for the lead with Yerma. Not sure if he'll end up winning it this week, but he's in the lead when I play this round. I practiced this shot. I guess I didn't give it enough angle. Again, we don't know what wind it's going to be, but I thought I kind of had it dialed in, all the different winds I tried. So, silly mistake. Decided to double down, aim a little bit lower, give it a little more cut, and that's what I needed to do. So let's hope this stays in bounce, and it does. It curls around, and I'm gonna get the par. Excuse me. So, yeah, the first 2-stroke swing for me of the whole event. Not one I'm gonna sit and worry about, think about often, but it would have been nice to get that, and then I would have been very hopeful coming into this. So with this one, I just, with an adverse wind, I often try to do this with the water skip drive and to send it right at the basket. There are plenty of things to stop it, and I barely got one of them there. So if I would have missed, probably would have been a birdie, so not that big of a deal. But mentally, at least, this was a very big swing for me to sneak in that eagle after starting with the par. So we'll see what I can do to finish up here. This is a very difficult win for this hole. A 3-wood in this direction. I've basically told myself before, if I'm outside 500 feet for this approach, not worth going for the green. The water skip is not dependable for me in this lake. So, I'm just throwing it around the side and taking the boring birdie. But a boring birdie is a birdie, and there were definitely some blow-up scores on this hole that I did not want a chance. Bogey comes into play very quick if you miss that first attempt across the water. And a tap-in birdie is plenty good for me. So we are, oh boy. All right, Frozen Valley 2. This one, I should have seen it coming with the scores that were being had. A lot of volatility. A lot of people still got the birdie. I'm pretty impressed. Yeah, it's a much scarier win than when I had it in round 2, but I had a little better aim and a much better reaction on the ice, and I am safe. So we'll see if I can get this in another good spot. All right, snuck past that tree. Probably could have made it up there regardless. Now that I'm here, I'm not sure if I'm past this tree or not. You can see I'm trying to tell. Every once in a while something weird can happen. I'm pretty confident I'm past it, so that's what I'm going with. I was like, well, this could really be a bummer if I'm, get hit by it, but no, I'm good. And, yep, just let the wind and the skip push me right into the green, and boom, birdie. So, no worries there. And we're on to hole 5. What do we got for hole 5? Ooh, we have Northern Breeze, hole 4. Scary for me here. I decided not to think about it too much. Go with my turn glide. I got 20 skin. I like that one. And I left it too far left, but snuck through. Oof. That was a fortunate little sneaky shot there. Definitely left it further left than I intend to, but doesn't matter. I'm in. So very, very exciting. 5 under through 5. Haven't made the big mistake yet. I guess you could call hole 1 the big mistake, but it's all right. Wasn't crushing. And here, pretty standard line for me. I'll often do a skip shot to give myself a hope and a prayer at an ace on this hole, but no need in this type of round. And I'm just outside my putting range, so do a little bit of a throw in. And we are at 6 under through 6. We'll see if I can keep it going. Man, another Sunshine Glade hole. I hit just short last time. Same aim point. I moved it up a click because I was short last time. And I left it just left. Ah, man. It kind of stinks to see this hole twice in global and not get the ace once, because, a lot of people are. So you feel like you're just losing a stroke. But, again, 1 stroke is not a big deal. It's best if you can just limit your mistakes to that. And this hole I feel like I've had figured out. This is my classic aim point. I even put a little more hyzer on it than normal. Must have got a bad wobble or something on that aim. And man, this guy just turned like crazy. Hit one of the very few things in that whole line you can hit that keeps you out of range to get to the top. And I thought I was cruising in to get my 40 under, but looks like I'm going to come a little bit short of that this week. I am pretty confident none of my discs can make it to the top from 377. So I just decided to lay up in front and give myself a small chance to make this. Spoiler alert, I almost never make it from here, so I'm not counting on it. But we'll give it a shot. And good line, just left it a disc short, so should have used my glide hope, I guess, but it's all right. I'm not regarding that one too much. Once again, 1-stroke swing, not worried about them too much. With this wind on this hole, usually any kind of tailwind, I shouldn't say usually, my mind changes constantly. Decided to go with the accurate roll musket as opposed to the PD, and it did leave me short. Not exactly the throw I wanted to end my Global League with, but it's okay. all is good. Made the birdie in at 8 under, and I'm 39 under for the tournament. So a lot of fun. Definitely stressful rounds. My throwing hadn't been dialed in recently. I'd say I've been in a slump, but was able to turn it around today. And yeah, very happy with the 39 under. A couple more weeks to go of Global. Let's go. Thanks for watching.